What's up, guys? Welcome back to Brand Grenade Gaming. My name's Jason. Thought we'd try a different approach here. I'm going to narrate or add a little commentary to this video, just kind of overlay it and everything else. Not going to be really any sound effects or any of that stuff because, I kind of feel like maybe that could take some of it away. You do rely on sound sometimes, but sometimes the sound quality is not what you want it to be with footsteps, or maybe if you're running a certain perk that should actually give you audio, even if another player is running Ghost. I think that they've improved on that quite a bit, but still got a little bit of ways to go. Plunder Quad seems to be the least hacker lobbies that I've been in, so I think I'm going to stick to that at least for now. Obviously, I didn't win every single match that I went up against because there are skilled players. A lot of you people that watch these videos and or just watch videos like this in general are excellent players, and in many cases much better than me. And so, we drop into airfield here, and we're getting that whole enemy in the AO type notification. There's obviously enemies dropping in all over the place out here, and so we're going to try to loot up a little bit, swap our rounds over to some Nebula 5, just to get a little bit of extra damage, damage over time, those dots on people as we start lighting them up. This guy's sucking up some ammo right there. I figured I could get him down because he was in pretty close proximity to me. I'm going to go ahead and just drop a cluster strike here and put him and anybody else out of their misery that's not our team. So I'm going to kind of try to provide a little bit of cover for them as well. So we're still looking. We'll get a couple rounds off this guy. I can hear him outside. I know he's behind me. So I'm going to go ahead and reload, and then I'm going to hear him come in, and I hear his footsteps. He's underneath me, and I see him, light him up, and he's done. And so that worked out pretty well. The first two guys work out well. I get into fights later on where my aim is not fully developed, and so obviously, and some players are just better than me. And so this area here right now is obviously a hot spot. People are really jockeying for control, 4-man teams. It's a loot-rich environment for cash and foot lockers and all that stuff. And so it's really fun because it's really dense. This is where you really get to work on your aim transitions. You get to work on your situational awareness, your video game awareness, or your video game IQ, and all that stuff. I see this guy coming in because I heard the enemy nearby, or enemy dropping into your area, so I like to look at those. He runs right into me. He's in for a pelvic exam, and I'm the doctor, so I want my copay. All right. So anyways, we're starting out pretty strong here. We don't always start out this strong. Get another cluster strike here. Debating on, do I want the munitions box? It's not that as important right now because I'm full on ammo. And one of the things I'm trying to work on is, as I get into further ranges, swapping to my AR style, right? My actual rifle versus my submachine gun. And as you can see, I'm running the MP40 with the short barrel. This guy eats it up, almost gets me with that grenade. I'm surprised I didn't go down right there. He hit me pretty good. I was in pretty close proximity of it. So, right now I'm thinking, oh man, I need another plate. And I ended up getting one out of the foot locker. So, I already have that cluster strike. I see that there's two guys in this adjacent building. You're going to see one guy moving right there. I went ahead and grabbed the other one. Airspace is full. There's too crowded. I'm checking that. I see a guy up on top of the roof. He's eating up some of those cluster bombs. He's down, and so I have one to worry about. And so things are working out really well right here. I'm trying to be more situationally aware with the map. I don't notice the guy to the right of me like an idiot. So I run out here because I'm going to try to capitalize. And this guy, I start sucking up ammo. I thought I got some decent shots to the upper thoracic cavity and into the head area, but I just didn't have the oomph. He was a little bit too far out of that submachine gun's range to really be able to put him down. It would have been better if I'd have ran out into the open, even though I'd have been a little bit slower with my rifle. And so lesson learned there, but that's just me being able to look back. In hindsight's always 20/20, right? And so you can always go back and you can overanalyze your stuff. The biggest thing though, have fun, right? It's not that big a deal. And this is just one test case right here of what I could have done better. If you guys see anything that I could have done, put it in the comments. You know, I want to get better. You know, I see this guy as I'm coming back in. You'll see the guy right down here running. And so I'm going to try to get on this side of these sandbags here because I have a little bit of protection. He peeks. I'm like, oh boy, like an idiot. I lay down and throw that grenade like into the next county. I get maybe a shot or two on his head. I'm going to go ahead and press him. I see him and put him down. I've only got about 20 seconds though until he's coming back in the game, and so I've got to DD Mao, and so I'm going to try to get out of this open area here with my submachine gun, so you can sprint a little bit, move a little bit faster, and then my one of my partners here, my players or teammates, points out you know, a spot we need to head to. It's a supply type deal, and so we're gonna head that way. I'm gonna stop here just to clear houses and stuff like that to see if there's anybody, maybe get a little cash and all that jazz. I get some more Nebula 5 rounds, and I'm gonna be off and running. After, you know, I've got the cluster bomb there too. Grab Ghost and then start heading that way or continue my pursuit. You know, on these maps, it's always better to have a partner that is calling stuff out like that. You know, enemy locations or, you know, objectives you want to go to, any of the bounty stuff, etc. And so we started another contract right there, and I'm going to continue. Just wanted to check and see because I saw that platform right there, that little sandbox, and I was thinking, is that a balloon? And it wasn't. So we're going to be chasing Purple here and trying to meet up with him. And like I said, I'm just clearing some houses. You know, he's already heading there. If he starts it or goes after that and gets there first, it's not that big a deal unless there's somebody else there or a team of people there that may be camping that location, which is obviously also possible. And so I'm trying to put myself in more and more, you know, situations where I have to be more situationally aware, you know, like scanning that tower, for instance. Sometimes people like to hide up there and just snipe, right? And, you know, if you're looking for those types of locations or kind of halfway predicting that there could possibly be someone there, every now and again, you're going to be right. You know, it's the players that are always right that you need to question. And so, you know, this channel is going to be 100% clean 100% of the time. If it means that this channel never grows, then that's okay, because I'd rather make an honest buck than a dishonest thousand. I decided not to kind of just stay there. He threw a grenade, and so I didn't want us both getting into a bad situation, and I wanted to take the brunt of that with this truck. And so I'm going to head up to this house, dismount, and go inside to see if there's any action. We know there's probably something going on. He's throwing those snapshot grenades, and I'm not seeing anything on those, but he is obviously being very risk averse. Of course, I get lit up here, and I immediately start crawling upstairs to get away from the door just in case that person presses inward. He knows that there's at least two of us in here, and so, but he knows one of us is down. So I'm going to head to this back corner. My guy jumped out the window, and he's going to be circling back around, coming upstairs. He's going to get me up, and then we're going to start our teamwork to, you know, identify positions where threats are or possibly could be, or where we've seen them last, all that stuff. And so I immediately start to plate here. Obviously, he's very proactive, this teammate. Obviously skilled. His movement is solid. There's a flashbang that just went off there, or a stun grenade, but for some reason it didn't affect me. It might have been his, but I don't think it was, because there's other stuff that starts coming in pretty quick. The person that we're going up against is obviously pretty squared away, and if it would have just been me, perhaps I would have had my hands full 50-50. I don't know, but I ended up jumping through the window. I didn't hear him. I happened to just see him when I came through the window and was able to put him down because he just didn't know that I was there. So obviously that person wasn't a wall hacker, which very fortunate, because I mean, even if they're not wall hackers, you know, I lose quite a few fights anyways. I seem to be shot in the back more oftentimes, you know, unintentionally running away from the war. My guys could most of the time win the AWOL award or something like that, you know, just because I seem to sometimes be running away from the fight unintentionally. And so, it just happens. It's RNG or whatever. So that house is clear. We see this enemy marker that my teammate has marked. And so I'm going to start scanning and see what's up. I don't know exactly where this person is. I was looking at the rocks just in case they pressed. I'm going to go up here to some cover and see if I can see anything, maybe get a better sight picture. I see him in the open, and I'm able to put him down. So I don't want to be exposed now that the enemy knows that I'm outside. I should have probably gone right into that other window, that first window, just because that's extra time where if there happens to be a teammate that knew my location, that saw me in the open that much longer, there's plenty of time for somebody to strike back. I happen to see a glimpse of something. You're going to see me shoot at things that I think are him too, that just simply aren't. And so I'm just trying to scout a little bit with my rifle, trying to conserve a little bit of ammo too. I don't want to just go, weapons free there and end up in a bind. I thought I might have saw a glimmer there, but I didn't. I don't think this person's running one of those types of scopes. I thought I saw him there, but I think that's just part of the roof or maybe the backdrop. So my teammate's going to start shooting here, as you can see right there, and I'm going to go ahead and press with my submachine gun to try to, I think he's on the back side of the roof or inside the house, and so at this point I'm going to try to stealth up a little bit. If he was downstairs, I looked there, as you saw that I paused. Get out my heartbeat sensor. I know he's either in the room or on the roof, and he's probably on the roof. I back up, I see him, I open up, and he was basically one shot at that point. So my teammate must have put him in a bind, and he must have been out of plates. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and take that ammo just in case, or that munitions box, and we should be okay. He's throwing snapshot grenades. I assume somebody's over here. I don't know, and there's not. And so, we're doing pretty well. We're working in a team. I'm actually talking to this player, but the player's not responding, like vocally. Obviously there's a lot of players that don't technically talk. They rather ping versus be vocal. Totally get that. Just based on, some of the quality of players that you run into, or some of the voices, or some of the language you hear, etc. I can see why some people don't have that option on. I'm trying to actually ping where I saw somebody or heard something or whatever it was. I think I saw them. And so at this time, I'm doing a little bit of scanning. I think it was actually from the heartbeat sensor. And so I'm assuming that's where they are. I don't know how he covered so much ground. I don't know at this time if this guy is actually one guy or if there's actually two, because it very well could be a teammate. So I'm a little bit worried. Being out in the open, exposed right there. And so I'm going to go ahead and scan. And now I'm going to move in with my submachine gun and see if I can put this guy down, because he's got to be closely out of plates. He sets me on fire with a Molotov cocktail. That was actually a pretty awesome play. So he puts me down. And so that was pretty rad. My hat's off to that player. That's pretty slick. If you're down to nothing, the Molotov cocktail is pretty effective. It's like sticking somebody with a Simtex grenade. That would have been maybe the better play, right? But still, rocking with a Molotov has got some benefits. You can stop a person. Like, let's say you're being chased up some stairs. You can throw that down the stairs. They'd have to run through that to get to it. Damages them a little bit. If they're already weak, then it very well could kill them. So my guy here, I think, either gets shot or hit with a grenade. You can see that they're throwing flashbangs or concussion grenades or whatever they're throwing at us. They're obviously downstairs. There's a snapshot grenade that just went off. I don't know if they nerfed the distance of those, but didn't we used to turn orange or something like that? I don't know. I can hear this guy running. It might be my teammate. I actually think that I actually thought it was him. I get a glimpse of him and shoot. And now I'm waiting for him to jump off. I'm kind of a little bit, hyper aware right now, because now there's three of us running around like test monkeys, and we're trying to take over the facility. And so we're still trying to capitalize right now. And my teammate ends up putting him down. And so that was pretty legit. He's going to go ahead and press to another house. That's the smart play, just so we don't get re-landed on by that guy and potentially a teammate. At least we're making, putting some distance, some time and distance between us. And in a gunfight, time's the most important thing, followed by distance. And so If you have time, then you're doing better than if you just have distance alone. And so we, at this time, we hear somebody either flying in or whatever. I didn't actually see that guy fly in. It must have been because the tree's in the back. I know he's right there. He's going to go ahead and peek right here. I'm going to be able to put a couple more shots into him. I'm kind of getting a little worried, standing at a door, but I end up cracking him right there. We get some more hits in on him, and I realize, I'm running low on ammo, but I've got this cluster strike, so I'm going to go ahead and light it up. But the suppression and the rock, and him being so close to the rock, allowed my teammate to close the gap and put him down. Teammate got 12, I got 7, and we had a pretty good team, so it was really exciting. Guys, if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. On behalf of the Brain Grenade Mascot Monkey, my name's Jason. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.